see what happens in this third game. But it's a different setup.
Did Nongshim choose second pick?
Classic. Classic. All right. The bottom lane did not win, but the mid lane did for the side of Nongshim Red Force in Game 2. And it didn't matter necessarily that Jin got ahead. So we're going to see a completely different third game here. I think some of these bans will be identical. The Varus, the Pantheon, the Rumble, the Orianna. You know, Karma's already gone through. Ryze has gone through. Nocturne gone through. Jarvan also banned again.
I actually feel like because of the high value of all of the bans that we've had, every single game they've been exactly the same. Outside of the Karma that did sneak through, we're going to see very, very similar bans. There will be like one that's going to change. And
maybe a Vi ban.
Yeah, maybe the Nautilus isn't going to get banned this time around. I wonder what's going to slip in instead.
I'd like to see a Vi ban from Hanjin. Rumble has to go first, though.
Yeah, not going to see that one.
The other thing is Ashe Seraphine is still kind of lurking as a strong lane. Yeah, Annie's gone with no Bard, no Nico, no Lulu. I'm like, Ashe Seraphine stocks are way up. And if you're actually the one with second pick, you can run with that really well.
You better ban Pantheon. That's all I'm saying. Because that is the last one that's up and available.
I also thought that Nongshim had second pick, but that is not correct.
Oh, right. So they actually chose first pick, so never mind.
Yeah, I think it said second pick earlier, unless I'm crazy. But either way, they have first pick here as confirmed by this pick and ban. Vi first, but I think Ashe Seraphine will be the answer. Let's see what they can get with this.
And they're probably staring down a Vi Ahri type situation.
Yeah, probably.
I would assume.
It just seems too good of a lane to pass up here for Namgung and Teddy, especially because Namgung likes those types of lanes.
All right. Taking their time, figuring out what they want to do here. But the Ashe Seraphine, I think, is kind of staring them in the face right now.
There's just no great answer to this, right? I mean, what are they going to do, Zeri-Yuumi?
Oh, God, maybe they do. I mean, it is Lehens. He does like himself some Yuumi.
That is true. Maybe Lehens has the Elise special or pulls out the Blitzcrank or something crazy, but this lane feels so free. I think you do need to get the Seraphine here, though. They already locked the jungle. You can get your jungle on 3 or wait and see if you want to counterpick for Loki. I think they're discussing other elements of this draft right now, because for me, the Seraphine is a must-pick here.
Oh, yeah. I think that that's probably what the discussion was about. It was more about what they were going to pick on 3. And so there is the Seraphine locked in.
So Ahri, very strong here. And the Ahri can circumvent the Seraphine pretty easily. So I think that's almost a guaranteed pick. Going for the Ambessa as well, though, would give you so much dive power in this draft. It would lock up all of your top side of the map.
Oh, okay.
Ziggs.
So Ziggs, just so that they can dodge the lane. Instead of going for the Zeri-Yuumi, which is a lot more like, we need to kill you at level 6, otherwise we just continue to not do very much.
And Ziggs follows up on Vi pretty well.
Yeah.
You know,
I put them in a very weird position as far as what this draft is going to do later on, though. What does Scout play?
Because Scout, interestingly, you know, we've seen a lot of Mel responses to this lane, but maybe Scout just plays Mel mid lane. It's a lot of AP damage, though. I'll have to wait and see what the matchup is. This is great for casting.
Yeah.
Really good matchup here on the top side with this Gnar, and is great with Ashe Seraphine, is empowered by the Seraphine quite heavily. Hanjin and Coach Song look really happy with the setup thus far, as the Nautilus will be taken away. Makes a lot of sense.
What are the bans going to be focused on here? Mid lane and jungle are what Brianna are looking for. But whether it's going to be, I think focusing on the jungle would make some sense, but protecting your mid lane.
Mel is, I think, strong here for both squads, actually. It's a lot of magic damage for Nongshim, but works really well here for the side of Hanjin Brion as well. Gideon, in this case, doesn't have a jungle pick yet, but they're not going to target that. The Ahri, still a potential concern. They do ban away.
Yeah. Nefiri is a pretty common one into the Vi.
Yeah, and it works well with the Ashe Seraphine. The follow-up is pretty simple. Let's see what they do.
I wouldn't mind seeing it just taken away, just trying to avoid that sort of response. Because having a bit of extra damage out of the jungle could be a good thing too.
There's not a whole lot of picks you'd want to ban otherwise. Like, I had the Akali in mind, but it does feel like it's not necessary to play Akali in this draft here for Hanjin Brion, even though it's a strong tier list pick. Not in my mind, but in the LCK minds of a lot of these mid laners. So let's see what we get here. Probably just a jungle pick for Gideon first, and then they'll wait to see the full picture here. Because the Ziggs is also technically a flex, but they didn't ban the Mel. And it's going to be, maybe they were hoping to play it. Talia, I do not really prefer in this situation.
Wow, that is an odd choice. All right, it's been a while since we've seen Talia. She's kind of been on hiatus here in the LCK, but she will be back once again. Can build some walls and things like that.
Technically a flex pick. Gideon might pull it out in the jungle.
True. It's been a while. Ooh, Yone for Scout.
Yone is actually
a lot of fun.
This is a really nice way to change this draft up, and the Ziggs Leona has always been a classic. When they banned the Nautilus, I was like, well, I like that ban. It makes a lot of sense, but Leona's still out there.
And it's Lehens. He loves Leona.
Yeah.
He loves Nautilus more, but he does really like Leona.
He's like the only one who plays this besides Life. Kha'Zix.
Yeah.
I don't...
Gideon looks pretty excited about it.
I like the Fury a lot more because there's a lot of CC to press W for. Kha'Zix might just go splat in most situations here, I think.
And the Nefiri is such a good pick into the Vi. We've seen it so many times. So an opportunity now for Gideon to get in there, cause a ruckus.
Talia pick is the one that really gives me the most pause because, yes, I think it follows up well onto...
I have to say, I'm pretty sure Nefiri has more paws.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if you include the other little doggos.
That's true. All right, good point.
So many paws, okay?
But this Nefiri, doesn't set up the Talia well, but the Talia can set up the Nefiri, I suppose. You're playing into Vi, which is a great matchup for the Nefiri. If you hit an arrow, the shove is automatic. If you hit a root from the Seraphine, the shove is automatic, so I get the idea. Plus, you can play through sides with an aggressive Nefiri pretty well. I like the Nefiri pick way more than the Kha'Zix, as we alluded to earlier, but this Ziggs dive comp feels pretty simple to execute here for Nongshim Red Force. They just kind of line up the dive, press the Ziggs buttons on top, press the R button on top, and it's pretty simple. Ashe Seraphine in lane, though, incredibly oppressive, and I think trying to all-in with the Leona could be a mistake here. I think they need to play defensively. Ziggs going to be on TP. Just going to have to farm it out till you get to those mid-game fights.
Looking forward to seeing how it goes, Wolf, as the Nongshim composition, I think, came together pretty nicely, but there are some answers for the bros as well. Let's do it. Let's jump into the rift for the third game of the series. Oh, Sponge, you got to toggle on your glasses. Toggle on your glasses. So important on that skin.
Yeah.
Still the best Vi skin. I know it was released with her, but still. Such a good skin. Big fan. We don't see enough of it. So much it's like either like Team Rocket Vi or one of the others, and I just don't like them nearly as much. Project Vi.
Project Vi. I'm a Project Vi.
Yeah, it's a pretty popular one as well. All right. The bros starting off this laning phase, and I have a feeling the bottom lane should be going just fine for Bro. I think they should be able to put on a fair bit of pressure down there, but I don't think Ziggs is going to care about it. That's going to be the big deal. How Taeyoon plays the lane, though, is going to be the big question. We don't have Orcs here today, so we won't be able to fully adjudicate how things are being played, but basically the thing you have to watch out for is how he is using his satchel.
Yeah, well, I think it's time to make a term for aggressive satchels, right? I've been thinking about this for a little while because you're trying to essentially grab the enemy when you go for an aggressive satchel. Sometimes it's for damage, but you're looking to knock them back in. I like to call it personally a snatchel. Because you're trying to snatch them. Yeah. So if you snatchel when you should satchel, then you're in a little bit of a dangerous position in a Fury Talia.
Because if you satchel, you can't escapsule.
No, exactly. Oh my God, we got both of them. Boom.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Defensive satchel is the term we've been using, but it's just not that. It's just not that quick to say. It's not catchy.
Yeah, that's why we have to do a scapsule instead.
Yeah.
Which sounds like what a doctor would ask for, like when he's performing surgery, Pass me the scapsule.
I think it really encapsulates the abilities and what they are the same ability, but the usages of the ability and what they're capable of.
Some would even say it could ensatulate.
Yes.
But I don't think they would, because it's not a real word. Taeyoon is going to be able to land that cannon, and that was very satisfying. I was going to do another.
Yeah, no, I thought about it too. I thought about it, but I thought better of it.
I think that we've probably done enough.
Yeah.
It is, it's turning into a bit of a bro series that has gone the distance, ladies and gentlemen.
Once we get a real Snatchel / Escaptual situation, that's when we'll bring it up.
Yeah, we'll try to just hold off for now.
That's a funny interaction.
Yeah, that was a bit of excitement there.
If you're Scout, it's maybe a little bit less funny.
Loki is actually, I mean, I do kind of like the Taliyah pick into the Yone specifically.
Yeah.
Just because you can just force him through rocks over and over again. But I just don't like Taliyah as a champion right now.
She does a lot of things, but none of them in a great way. Like,
and
she
also
could be
not
pick.
a lot of damage.
Yeah, she could be pick. She can do damage, but it's not a lot of damage. The pick isn't guaranteed in a draft like this. She can be global, but it's also a risk. You know, it's a little bit slow of a rotation, very predictable.
And Taliyah was, you know, a favorite for a lot of people, so that's understandable.
Maybe they thought, you know, it was going to be picked if they didn't grab it, I suppose is something you could consider.
Ooh, Eclipse is going to come on down. The beat drop is not going to do as much because, of course, a bunch of extra resistances.
I also, as those who have been watching since LCK Cup knows, we're going to see a bit of a deny of the back.
Yeah, as a Zenith Blade in, I don't know whether Lehens really wanted this, but does absorb a lot, as that is... What's that one again?
Snatchel.
That's a Snatchel.
Attempted Snatchel. Didn't actually snatch him.
That was more of a Disengatchel.
I guess you could say that. But, I think it was hoping it was going to knock him into the turret.
Yeah.
So a bit of a, Snatchel, but also Disengatchel.
Yeah. Well, Gideon, you're going to need another one of those. As Taeyun in a bit of trouble. Namgung does get out of the turret range. Taeyun takes a little bit of time to die as Teddy just barely survives. And the teleport coming in, but it's a turtle port here from Scout. Takes him about forever to get there. And it's just going to be running sadly back to the lane as the bros pick up first blood.
Yeah, Scout is like, oh, there's no way. Actually, no, yeah, it really happened. And now you don't have TP, and so Taeyun's going to have to TP to cover your lane. As, yeah, this is just, Namgung, he's great, man. Is he actually the best up-and-coming Rise support? Maybe.
I think so.
Rookie of the Year candidate? He's, just making that into a great play. Obviously, not the most, mechanical play. Is it the exact right place at the right time? Sets up the turret aggro so they can go for the dive.
Yeah, the control is just really beautifully done. And getting an Euphoria head early is very, very important. The one unfortunate thing is that Namgung is the one that picks up the kill, but not the end of the world, as you can see. Leads across the board outside of the top side of the map here for the bros, as Nongshim are going to be able to pick up this first dragon. First one being an Ocean, second being Chemtech, does mean that we will have a guarantee of a pretty fantastic soul here as well. So you can imagine getting towards Double Dragon going to be a big priority here for Nongshim in this game.
Yeah, it is going to be pretty massive, and controlling it early is the name of the game, and they were able to get it into Ashe Seraphine because of the timing of that dive. So that ends up being the cost for Bro, although it is slight here, and the gold feels much better. And they clear that ward, nothing crazy, although the observing zoom made me wonder if there was something else going on.
I was a little bit, I was enthralled by how Jonas Strong played that one.
They do have Sponge going to the top side of the map. He'll get level 6 off Krugs, and then he'll be a bit of a menace. Sponge that is on the top side there on Krugs on the Vi.
All right. Nongshim just going to pick up this wave. That'll be fine.
It's actually going to do red buff because Krugs weren't up yet.
Oh.
Yeah, that's we kind of touched on it. I feel like your tone of voice picked it up when it was banned in the previous game. Kind of like, oh yeah, that's not necessarily a good pick right now. Hasn't been doing great, but I think it suits the comp. It's great for the composition. It follows up on the Vi really well, on the Yone really well, or sets up the Yone, etc.
As we watch it, it just gets slammed into the wall. It does trade back quite nicely.
It's not good into Gnar, you know? That part is definitely not what it has going for it.
Yeah. Good pick there by Casting. As Loki does have his Boots of Lucidity done, but doesn't really have very much damage to help him take down these minions. Still able to get away from Scout relatively well. As I say that, he takes a fair bit of damage as he unbinds. But still ahead in the wave as Beat Drop is going to snare Lehens for a few moments, but he does have the Eclipse. Ooh, Public Execution gets hopped there.
Yeah.
By Casting.
Good reaction there from Kaz. Look at his face on the player cam.
Yeah.
He's giggling. Thanks for the ultimate, my man.
Looks like they're having a good time over on the bro camp. And you can see why. Still, it is 1,000 gold. Not really the end of the world as the arrow is sent through the wall and connects onto King and Casting wants to be able to find this, but he doesn't have the ulti. As Kingin wanting to get a few dashes in order, there is no one here to help out. So Casting needs to do this himself. And when Kingin gets some buttons back, he should be able to get himself out of the way. The Q is going to land, and Casting doesn't find that statue. I was going to say house, but it's the wrong skin. Throws a statue at him. There's the flash. Zenith Blade in from Lehens, and there's Scout going forward with the ulti. Down will go Loki, and Nongshim answer that first blood finally here in this mid lane.
Ladies and gentlemen, the dive comp is alive.
It is indeed.
That was about as so many of these team fights are going to look as playable as it gets for Loki. If you get caught initially, you get caught by the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next, and the things are crowd control effects, which immobilize you.
And the things just keep lining up.
Loki ends up using both of his summoners as well in the death, so that's not great for him. And I believe Scout picked up an additional plate there in the mid lane before he backs. So he ends up picking up a pretty significant lead, and the gold has shifted into the favor here of Nongshim Red Force right now. About dead even, but they had a lead for a moment, whereas it was about 1,000 gold the advantage for Bro just moments before.
Yep.
So we'll watch this again. Lehens setting this up brilliantly. This is why he loves the Leona.
Oh,
Zenith Blade
flash
extends,
as well.
Extends with the flash, and then the follow-up is just so easy. Vi presses R.
And he almost didn't need to be honest.
Honestly, I think you're right.
But sometimes you just want to guarantee it, and with that kill going over, Lehens picks it up. So both supports being a little naughty at the early stages of the game, but it is nothing to be too worried about as Scout goes back, gets his Berserker's Greaves.
Neither as naughty as Nautilus.
No,
was banned
true.
away. That was
exactly. He's so naughty he was banned multiple times in this series.
He stole the last part of your caster name.
Oh, he did too.
Now you're just at.
Oh no, I've been banned. I didn't know casters could get banned. Oh no. I guess casting can get banned, so I guess it makes sense. That's a little bit of a shame. Well, I'm commentating this row game. There's a lot of letters that have just been taken away from things in this current series. Well, that's okay. We'll just have to make do with what we have left.
We certainly will.
Do you know what at is in? Satchel. So I am at least still a part of the very frustrating Satchel conversation that we had earlier.
True.
We have seen a few extra Satchels as well. The Attackshel was thrown out, and that is the one that Orcs really doesn't like.
Yes.
We're hoping that we never see any more of those. As Kingin bouncing around this lane, doesn't quite have his Eclipse done. You can see Casting pretty happy to go toe-to-toe.
Top lane feels like such a knife's edge battle, but Casting has had the winning side of it for most of it. Now Gideon does show up here, but guess what? Sponge on the counter.
Yep. Able to get over here. Still hasn't put his shades on, which is a little bit unfortunate. That is okay. Taeun, moving on over.
I guess he's trying to say I'm Team Leona because she's on my team.
Yeah, maybe.
So I enjoy the sunlight.
Yeah.
Although with this with this skin, it's a little bit darker.
All right. Well, we do just have a 2v2, but it's a little bit confusing. Now making his way over was just spotting to see where Sponge might be headed.
This setup for Lehens with his summoners with Unsealed is actually pretty terrifying when he can just cleanse the root from the Seraphine and just make sure the engage goes off no matter what. An actually really powerful moment here for him if he could set that up, especially with Sponge on this dragon. They could turn.
Yeah.
Instead, be a bit of an angle here for Casting.
Are into the wall as Kingin might be in a little bit of trouble here. Another statue is going to connect and hits Mininar at exactly the right time. Flashes to pick up the Hyper Proc, and Casting gets a solo kill here in the top lane.
The angle of the flash there, I think was what Kingin thought was going to save him, but
I mean, it didn't matter. The auto was in the air.
Yeah, I think he should have flashed earlier, is really what I mean. Like, it was a bit bizarre. He tried to ult as well, but died.
Yeah.
Or the cast went off. Bit of a funky one, but Casting has been enjoying this matchup. We saw a few misses, the jungle attention. That's why I was saying it was on a knife's edge, because both junglers were like, this actually could get blown wide open. And I think in this moment, as the transformation comes through, you got to flash like now. Otherwise, that auto is just going to go.
Yeah.
And he flashes first, so I think that can be done about that.
나이스.
What it is?
이거 지적하다.
Yeah, I'm not really entirely sure exactly how to explain what that sound that he made was, but
yeah, You don't need to. Maybe we just let it lie. I think that's
Yeah, there
okay.
you go.
Still, Namgung said he did a good job. And he absolutely did.
Akuda is what we can't.
He just said, I'm huge. Okay.
Or that's big. Like, it's big that he got the kill, I think is what he means. Or maybe
Honestly, it just sounded a bit more like a war cry rather than an actual word. As Arrow is going to connect onto Taeun for some... Oh, just to stop the back, I guess. Bit of an interruption arrow there.
Okay, well, this is really big, obviously, as Casting has pointed out, because
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
now it's about a 700 gold lead here for the Gnar that has the favorable matchup. And if Sponge has to give resources here to the top side, guess what? That's predictable. The whole team is coming up here. This is a Talia with Weaver's Wall available, can either wall off the Vi or just, oh my
goodness.
god, and they're committing.
There are so many bros up here. As Lehens, good footwork.
Taeun's also showing up. He's got a big bomb.
Yeah, the doggos get aggressive here towards Lehens, who really wants to turn this into a engage. You could really feel it. As Taeun over to the side, Mega Inferno Bomb in hand. The follow-up damage is just gigantic.
Just do not solar flare the dogs.
And also just don't start a fight without Scout. We learnt this in game number 1. Scout is moving to the bottom lane. Just let him build pressure and play it safe.
Yeah.
I say that to Lehens. Like, obviously, it's not, it's deaf ears, 100%, but still. Oh, okay, here it is. Public execution comes down, and there's an encore. And Nongshim say, yes, we'd be happy to do that again.
Press R together. And the three of them did, and Keegan was like, I don't miss these.
Nope. Oh, Scout eats some rocks as there's the Fate sealed. Loki in a bit of trouble here as he flashes to get himself out of the way. The flash cube from Scout just to close the distance. As Gideon comes over, the flash ulti comes on forward, and the seismic shove is there. Loki gets the shutdown. Beautifully played and great save there from Gideon.
You could see some unhappy Nongshim fans on that camera shot there with the near kill for the
But then
Yone.
some very happy Hanjin Breon fans.
That's right.
Awesome Row fans today.
Yes. Or otherwise, Rion.
Yes, indeed.
There's no R in Hanjin, so I couldn't take it further. But yeah, press R, press R, press R.
They did.
Namgoong's like, oh, I'm helping. Almost. And then here, it looked really good for Scout initially, because the wave is crashed, Loki can't get through. The timing, the ultimate here from Scout as well, perfect. Comes in, does a bunch of damage, and the Loki flashes here at the right moment as Lehens in live.
He is going to be hit by an arrow and will die. Okay.
Well, in the bro comp, it's like if the Teddy R button hits, press regular abilities together. As it is looking like Kingen will get that turret.
Yeah, it looks like first brick should be going over to Nongshim here towards the bottom side in trade for Shelly. The bros certainly stamped their claim on that one by taking down Lehens. So there that goes, but the immediate answer is going to put Nongshim in the lead. 500 extra gold over their way. Teddy catches the wave in mid. And this is one of the things that the Nongshim composition is very good at, and that is playing side lanes. They have Yone and Mbessa for that, and then Ziggs to just endlessly clear waves as they're being shoved into the mid lane. So 1-3-1 is such a great strategy this time around. I actually kind of hope that they just hold on to their game plan from game 1 and do that this time. Do it a little bit better and don't opt in for fights, but definitely play for side lanes this time around.
30 seconds till this Mountain Dragon does spawn. It'll be Mountain Soul Point here for Nongshim if they do get it. TP in for Taeun to control this mid wave. They have a lot of Dragon prio right now, and even though Hanjin have a strong pick comp and their team fighting is actually really powerful, even with this Ashe sitting on just 1.5 items, I don't think they can really afford to give this up, but they also are just not in a position to contest, you know? This is a really awkward moment here. They are going to group. Weaver's Wall is almost back here for Loki. If they can steal this away and win a team fight, they are golden in this game, but it is going to be so difficult. TP here for Casting as well as they try to set up for the contest, but it's so slow. It's like instead, they're going to try to trade it for a mid turret. And Nongshim actually dropped the Dragon for a moment. This is really awkward.
Yeah, Casting made his way in, does have that big old shield from the quest. The Dragon loses interest in the fight. Scout now looking to make his way over, doesn't find the knockup from the Q, but Casting takes a lot of damage. The Encore goes wide. They found Namgoong and they just execute him. Hop over the wall there from Casting, but now Bro are completely out of the fight. And Nongshim gets straight back onto this Dragon. Soul Point and Mountain Soul in this game, so incredibly valuable here for Nongshim, makes them so durable. And Gideon, can he perform a miracle to try and lock this one down? Cease and desist comes in. They try and get rid of the Vibe, but he's unstoppable, but still, they have enough damage. The Dragon is given up on, and Nongshim may have just thrown the game away.
I think they just
in
did.
an instant. Gideon dives on top of Taeyeon. He's now a Ziggs with nowhere to go. No Escapsule is enough to save you in that situation, and Kingin is wondering where all of his friends went.
I legitimately think that was a...
that was one of the silliest things I've seen in a while.
It was a horror movie watching it happen. You're like, wait, whoa.
He's behind the door!
Like, look at this. Okay, so they have the full control over the Dragon, right? And they, like, not here, but in a moment when the engage comes through on the Namgung. So Namgung's over here looking for the Encore. It whiffs completely. Then he dies. And now from this point on, Bro are like, let's get out. And Nongshim, we have control. Gideon's like, do I make this heroic attempt? He does not have flash.
Yeah, but like...
And they're just like, you know what? Let's just go for it.
They see all of them!
And I just,
why?
I don't understand. Teddy was not the target. By the way, Teddy gets over the wall, then he can come over here and apply damage. I have no idea. I just do not understand.
No, neither do I.
It's Mountain Soul Point. You got the pick. You have control. There's no flash on the Fury. Just take the W and roll with it. Now, this game might be over, right? I mean, this is a crazy throw of gold over to Bro. They get the Dragon as well because Nongshim dropped Dragon on the engage. Wow, yeah. That was a bit of a swing of momentum. The pendulum is weighted, I think, on this one.
Yeah. Good arm.
They stacked the pendulum.
Nongshim.
Yeah.
But if the Bro are anything, they are gentlemen. And you know what happens when something is thrown your way?
Well, you toss it back.
You toss it back.
Yeah.
Exactly right. As the arrow is going to be sent towards Scout. Scout watches it fly by and then ults away, casting unable to get in front of him. And so Fate Sealed now on cooldown. But still, Scout is going to survive.
If the last dive was a disaster, why not just try again?
Well, they might also just try and take plates, maybe even a turret here. As
the mid turret is also about to get satcheled.
Yeah, the side laning and turret destruction is what they're looking for. Crystalline Overgrowth going to get eaten here, and there's the ult in from Gideon. Does get the knock up onto casting as he's looking to try and take down this Gnar and pulls himself back. Scout, beautiful play there on the top side of the map.
Huge Q3, there's the satchel. So they get 2 turrets, including an inner on this one, and end up getting the
and this
escape.
Is what this comp's supposed to do, Wolf.
Yeah. Actually, no, I did not get an inner there. I don't know. I thought they it was covered by the Tilly. I was like, man, they got the inner down there. No, just both outers. Some plate gold there on the inner in the bottom lane. But yeah, this is exactly what you're saying. The comp is supposed to pick apart on the map Bro, and then Bro feel forced because they cannot answer the push to look for the pick on the Scout. He doesn't have to flash. He didn't have ultimate. I think that's why they were really excited about the notion of maybe we can get this Yone, as he's going to also get this turret. Does touch it to grab the gold.
And so now the gold is completely even again.
Yes. So like you said, you know, sometimes you toss it back. Although it's, I think, more of a map play than a Bro fail. They just were unlucky in that they could not make that topside dive work.
Yeah, Bro just caught the fastball and then just kind of rolled it back to them.
They like grabbed it and they're like, oh, it hurts my hands, and dropped it.
They're playing hot potato? Okay.
You know when you catch a really fast ball, like, it can hurt a little bit.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
A little painful.
I don't actually know. I don't come from
a baseball place. You know, it's pretty, it's hefty.
Oh, cricket though, those balls real hard. So yeah, I understand. Okay, Lehen's taking way too much damage. Solar Flare is going to connect onto Teddy, but even though it takes a while to kill him, the Leona has no friends. So Lehen's will be taken down.
All right, well, that's a significant pick here.
Yeah, they went up, picked up the ball, and said, "I didn't throw it far enough. Here, have it again."
Yes. All right, well, Lehens didn't have flash there. He decided to use his Solar Flare onto Teddy, I suppose, to make sure that they couldn't get chased down. Anyone else, you know, getting picked would have made it even worse. As we're going to see a potential pick on the casting now. Yeah. Press R together.
Cease and desist does come in, and casting's very, very dead. Okay. Catching them in a side lane, absolutely. Something that Nongshim's comp does very, very well. Oh, dear. It's always the follow-up, isn't it? That's where Nongshim runs into trouble, as the map is very dark. Scout is not in too much trouble right now, though, as the Weaver's Wall does come on through. Lehen's wants to try and save Taeyeon, but he uses the Escapsule quite nicely. Gideon throws out the ulti here. There's the flash, but Taeyeon, I think, is still going to die. Mega Inferno Bomb from the grave does a bit of work, but it's still not going to be enough, and another ulti comes forward. Really nice Vault Breaker from Sponge just to get Gideon out of there, but still, they're able to come on over and get a decent amount of damage towards his turret with the Crystalline Overgrowth. And the Bros now looking to get position around this Drake. It's
30
going to be
seconds.
spawning in about 35.
Kingen has teleport. His ultimate is coming back as well. Sponge, same story, so they got that pick. This game is super close. You know, when you look at the lead here for Teddy, feels familiar because of what we saw in the previous game. It's crazy the lead that Kingen has, though, because he had such a rough time in the early game, was bullied, and then the resources came through, and then suddenly he's like, I'm huge. I'm looking for a third item. And now, you know, if Nongshim imagine if they had gotten the last dragon that they
I
dropped.
know.
It's crazy what position they could be in right now. They
would have been winning.
Yeah, it would have been like almost unwinnable for Bro. Instead, it's incredibly close here, and they cannot hold the prio. Bro are actually going to push through. That was a choice.
Sometimes you just press R instead of ward. You know, I've done that. I've definitely done that. Oh, Blast Cone not going to be utilized here as there is a flank angle from Sponge.
Teddy is trying to stay as far back as possible.
Oh, the arrow actually gets dodged with a Blast Cone? That was crazy! There's the steal from Sponge. Encore gets flash. Mega Inferno Bomb needs to be W'd. The flash, the ulti comes on forward, but Scout immediately gets out. Nongshim, they can back away. At least that's what I'm told.
That was one of the best team fights from... Okay, hold on, Sponge.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, Gideon does have ulti. Now the Weaver's Wall comes in. Kingen looking for an angle, and Sponge is very dead. Cease and desist, public execution, and he survives! Nongshim can win fights!
And Kingen,
as they bait Pro to do exactly what they did.
Yeah.
It's the throwback!
Kingen's like, I remember this play the opposite way. I'm just going to wait. Surely they'll follow us. And guess what? They did. He had the angle held. He still had his ultimate. We're going to see TPs exchanged here from top and mid lane. Is Teddy, where you going?
Oh, God, they're dead. They're going into the Death Chamber, Wolf. That is where they're going. Casting might be following them as well, as that would be the ace for Nongshim. As there it is. In goes Lahens. He finds the Eclipse button as well to keep himself alive, and that is the ace that we were talking about. Casting, you can see, not exactly happy about that one on the player cam, but the Baron not going to be happy either because that one's going down. Let's have a look at this replay. So much better for Nongshim.
This is one of the best fights I've seen with utilizing Ziggs damage. Like, look at how well Taeyun plays this. He's layering damage in constantly. They play it slow. He drops in the ult for poke, and then they push 40 with Scout, and Scout disengages. He's like, all right, we still got these Ziggs abilities, right? We're going to still be able to layer this damage in. So Bro can't really turn this around and look for a fight. They don't have their arrow anymore. Weaver's Wall is utilized here so late. I think this is such a risky call at best here for Breon, you know?
My goodness, and the Vi shield as well.
And then Teddy doesn't have vision here. And he do be getting snatched.
Yeah. That was actually like perfect snatchel example.
Yes. So in Teddy's defense, you know, if they're on Baron as 5, maybe he can come in there and do something, but I think he thought this game is lost on almost every sense after that big throw he just had, and maybe I
wait for the hawk shot before you do that, or something like that.
I know, I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's a rough one.
Understandable. We've now moved to a 5,000 gold lead as Kingen might be caught out of position here, as he does have the ulti available. He uses it to go in, because why not? Because he was definitely going to be dead. A lot of damage there with the Mega Inferno Bomb, but 4 versus 1. Not great odds there for Kingen.
Scout doesn't have TP, so he has to be careful, but he has Empowered Recall. I think he should be able to get this inhibitor turret, maybe even more if there's no response, and this threat is actually a problem for Bro. They need to respond, and instead they're going to, eventually...
They steal a blue buff. They take some bounty gold here in the bottom lane. That's their first turret, Wolf, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, actually. They will eventually get this turret, as you say, and the inhibitor turret is going to survive. It is defended by Loki's back. And the pick onto Kingen was, I think, not that expensive in the realm of everything that's happened on the map, because they defend their inhibitor, they get the bounty gold, and there's no objective to fight for. So this ends up being, yes, some resources are expended here, but Teddy's just like, that's illegal, you can't back there. And obviously they don't know there's a ward there. I love how he scans it and he's like, damn. Guess that's what happened.
I think he knew that he couldn't get out of the Encore, so he's like, I don't care, I'm just going back in. Maybe that was what it was.
I think that's why he re-engaged, buying time for Scout's push and stuff like that as well.
But it did look a little bit comical, because I don't think that he was going to be able to survive that.
I mean, Sponge was kind of nearby, you know, but...
Yeah. They did have Mega Inferno Bomb as well, so they did end up on half health, but that is only halfway to a positive maneuver. As Gideon clears up his Krug camp, he at least has access to his jungle for the moment. But a 2,000 gold lead here for Kingin that did just die. And everyone else is ahead outside of Gideon in the jungle, who does still have a bit of an advantage.
I really thought, I mean, we started this game with casting Smirking. I really thought this was going to be like the casting Giga angle, where he was going to pop off in this game. He was going to be, walloping people in big team fight setups.
Sometimes you pop off, sometimes you pop.
Yeah.
This time he be popping.
He do be, because he's 2,000 gold behind and just got his Sterix. He's got some rogue cloths in his pocket as well. He eluded the enemies and picked up like cloth X1.
He dropped at one of the locations that doesn't have quite as many good things and just went to the bedroom. And
he's like, I'll vendor these later. Okay, you got his Warden's Mail now. All right, we're a step in the right direction. But this dragon for Nongshim, I mean, Leona is already annoying enough. She's got her locket, but she has Mountain Soul. I mean, Lehens can go wherever he wants with no rebuttal.
They don't have Mountain Soul yet.
If they get
maybe the bros have a chance here to convince Nongshim to once again throw the game. It's their turn. We have to say,
just hold the dragon, Nongshim. Lehens, don't you dare!
Gideon is down very, very low. This minefield actually doing so much work. Mario Inferno Bomb forces Gideon to bounce out of the way, and that means that they take this dragon. The way they've utilized this Ziggs pick has just been fantastic, as Nongshim are now looking for an angle with these brand new shields built up. The bros are now cornered. Weaver's Wall comes down. They're looking to try and close in onto Kingin, who just ulties to try and start the fight himself. Cease and desist into the backline from Sponge. Gets on top of Teddy, but Teddy's able to kite this one out. The GA is now procced, as the bros are actually kiting relatively effectively. Gideon now relatively low, though, and Kingin looking to dive forward. There's the Zenith Blade, and that's going to allow the lockdown of casting once again. The Fate Seal comes out from Scout. He unbinds the soul to look for Teddy, and he will find him. Loki down as well, and now Gideon desperately trying to escape, and I don't think Sponge will allow him to, as he might be able to press W. Yes, he does. He calls the pack, and that might allow him to escape as the doggos tank up the turret shots, as that last one goes really, really far.
The doggos were like, I'm not going to let you get hit by the cone, don't worry.
Yeah, exactly.
The cone actually was just too far away. I think he's still dead, though.
Yeah, Sponge is still going to get over. He will have another W, though. So there it is. Let's see whether he can actually. He can't. He just has no health. So that is going to cause him to die. There's a lesson for you. If you run out of health, you do that.
I mean, it's it's lesser known fact, but this is Loki coming in here. The ultimate from Namgung really does not do anything, though, and I actually really love this call from Sponge to go into Teddy, because yes, he's going into 4 people, and Teddy is going to burst him down, but he has GA, and that allows the rest of the team to follow up here and approach. And man, Taeyeon, his Ziggs has been pretty good. He's been set up for success here with his dive cop, but he's just layering so much damage, and this from Scout gets in. Teddy's
like he used the seismic shove to like extend the range of his ultimate. It was kind of crazy.
It looked very funny, but he does ultimately take Teddy down. Teddy tried his best. His kiting was phenomenal, but now Nongshim, if they had Baron when that happened, they would have just won the game. They will have Baron now. Gideon did not die for a long time, so arguably bought some space for Bro to respawn, but they're still not going to be up in time for a contest here of this Baron whatsoever. Nope. And that Mountain Soul is permanent. But 2 Mountain Drakes here, on top of already like the healing that's going to come through for their first 2 Elemental Drakes, it's very tough to kill these champions.
And Scout now is not going to be worried about Teddy throwing an arrow at him, because he has unbound his soul, casting in a side lane, just trying to put on some pressure wherever he can, but the arrow is going to connect. Ulti is going to absorb it there, as Scout will have to go back to that soul that's in the middle of a wall. He is instead just going to die. Still, turret does go down.
The second time this game, Teddy has been like, nah, I'm not going to let him push mid. He cannot be there. This time he gets Scout, and you got Kingin last time. And this is going to be bounty gold here, so it's something.
Yeah.
I mean, this Red Bull Baron power play is a negative right now because of this.
Okay, Nongshim, it looked like they had enough money to just kind of waltz in and win the game. Apparently, absolutely not.
So Scout buffers the arrow really well. The problem is that there's a Talia there. So he's like, oh, okay, got out, and then follow-up comes through from Loki, and then here he's like trying to do some fancy stuff, but there's just too many things to avoid, and there's just 4 champions killing him. Yeah. He played it well, but there was ultimately no way out. Cool trickery, but
Yeah, it was cute, but in the end, didn't quite work. Still, he is building towards a GA. It's going to make picking him a lot more difficult, and especially dealing with it in a team fight, as Bro do like to press R together, but if you press R together and then you just get them down to a GA, everyone else is there, and then that guy comes back to life as well. So yeah, it's just not exactly the greatest.
In that bottom side fight, Sponge showcased just why this can be a problem. As the siege is still real here, as that top inhibitor survives. They're looking for bottom sides. Teddy again.
Arrow connects onto Tay, and he actually walked into it. There it is. Beautiful shove. And another pickup for the Bros. I mean, minus 2,000.
We talked about how the first CC being the Ash arrow can layer into so many other CCs, but like that's 3 for 3 for Teddy being like,
Did
I
he
don't like
satchel
that
the wave?
I do not know the answer to that.
Oh,
I do not want to know the answer to
the wave.
I do not want to know the answer to that.
That's a whoopatchel.
Oh, boy.
Not a good one. Okay, well, this has been one of the most poorly utilized Barons
good Baron for Breon.
Phenomenal
3,000
Rebel Baron power play for Hunj and Breon. You're exactly right.
Look at this.
Huh.
We came in a bit late on it, but either way, he did not have flash, and I think...
Where was Taeyoon going prior to the arrow?
Yeah, I don't...
He just didn't use Satchel.
It's hard to react to use Satchel there in that situation, but I think he kind of panicked. He has flash now. As Teddy, like, legitimately 1, 2, and 8 on this Ashe. He's 2,500 gold behind, but his impact has been felt. And the Nongshim crowd has been unhappy with how his arrows have been landing.
Taeyoon only has one more item slot to fill as well. Right now has a couple of control wards. There is that GA that we were talking about.
Finished here right before Elder, perfectly timed.
Kingen very close to his as well.
I think he's getting it right now.
If they have triple GAs, it's going to be so hard for Bro. And there it is.
He has it, so 3 GAs for this Elder fight. This is going to be incredibly difficult. They're fighting into Mountain Soul as well.
Does Taeyoon have a Zhonya's? He might be one of those.
I don't think so.
Well, casting. Nabar at a decent spot. As Nongshim will just push them away. 10 seconds on this Elder. And casting's angle is so good. Sponge also trying to one-up him as far as the flank angles are concerned. The arrow is going to sail by. And now Nongshim feeling like they can just walk into this river. Create some darkness here for the Bros to be able to fight around.
Sponge really
he's
flanking.
Committed to this.
He's on the phone with Pool Bay right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is some Pool Bay flanking, as he will be able to Volt Break himself in there. But let's see, Solar Flare is just going to slow a few of them down. Not too much more is going to come of it. The bouncing bombs aren't exactly landing right now.
So much patience here for Nongshim, but like you said, the poke is not landing. Sponge is looking like he's going to commit. Ball breaker out.
Yeah, he gets on in there as Loki goes forward as well. There's the cease and desist Mega Inferno Bomb. Everyone's health bar gets wiped out, but Teddy, he flashes and Kingen gets on top of him. That'll lock down the Ashe. And Kingen does get charmed for a few moments, but now Loki's just trying to throw these rocks around, and it is not enough to win the fight against Nongshim. Sponge's grand flank ends up working out as he does try and Volt Break around. Does have to play around these rocks, which is kind of frustrating, as Loki's health bar is just like one hit away, but he seals his fate, and that is Scout that helps lock him down.
9,000 damage for Taeyoon in this game. In this fight, rather. In this fight, just one fight. He did a lot, even though not all of the poke landed. Enough of it did, and the engage was crisp. And that's the end of it. Nongshim will narrowly defeat Hunj and Breon here. It looked like it might have been Bro's night here. They had so many ins, but ultimately just could not find the consistency.
Oh, it's such a shame, but there it goes. Nongshim will be able to narrowly take down the Bros. It almost looked. He's actually had a phenomenal week, to be honest. The past couple of weeks, in fact, have been pretty good for Teddy. But this is probably what gets the POM for me, for Sponge. Just because finding this angle, Teddy started the fight off with 5% health. That's not enough health to win a team fight.
Yeah, Kingen's like, I got a lot of dashes for you, my friend. And it was funny Scout also, like, after they killed Teddy, he was like, I'll do Elder, and then he was like, oh wait, okay, maybe let's kill the bad guys and go.
Yeah. Let's just go win the game. As it takes a while for them to take down Loki here, as Talia is annoying, flinging rocks around.
Taeyoon is prepping the bottom wave. They've got that mid push. And it's a pretty easy finish from there. Take a look at Taeyun's damage here.
That's a big
38,000.
number.
Yeah, he did a lot of boom boom, quite literally, with the Ziggs bombs in this one.
Yep, and I was about to vote for, if it was me that had a vote, I do not, but I would have voted for Sponge, who did 0 in the early game and not very much damage. But the way he was utilizing his ultimate in those late game team fights, I think was absolutely fantastic, despite the lack of damage that he did. And they did, apparently, have Taeyun. Scout going to pick it up, though. And so, Wolf, you were joined by many, or the majority, as his Azir was fantastic, his Yone pretty good, and his LeBlanc did have a lot of money.
Also, I have often picked Scout, even back in the LNG days, to
That is true.
to then get owned by my choice. But